I'm Henry Rose of Scruggs Automotive and Off-Road. Jim is with me here today in his beautiful Jeep. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the year, make, model?
It's a 2015 Rubicon Hard Rock. I bought it as a wreck, so it has a salvage title, and just spent some time rebuilding it and getting it roadworthy.
So you started with it completely wrecked over,
Yep.
And here it is now in its full glory.
Yep.
So what was the type of damage that it was on originally when you got it?
There was a front end damage, basically radiator support, radiator, front grille, all 4 fender flares, rear door, both bumpers. Luckily the frame was undamaged. I think they might have pulled the front horns just a little bit, but other than that, I mean, when I brought it to you guys to have it aligned, there was no issues. So I kind of lucked out on the frame part of it.
Now this looks to be a 10th anniversary or a Hard Rock edition.
Right.
Was that the way it was when you got it?
Yes.
Or did you make it into that?
Yeah. No. It came with the the 10th anniversary hood and bumpers. I forget what the other part of the 10th anniversary was. I think there might be some interior pieces. But no, that was I like the bumpers. So even though that they were damaged, I just bought the same ones and put back on.
Okay. So starting up front, we've got the factory 10th anniversary bumper.
Yep.
And
I've taken there are 2 wings on, but I pulled those off and make it a stubby.
Okay. And now we do have a specialty edition worn winch here.
Yep.
This is the Mopar 10th anniversary edition winch.
Right. It's basically the Xeon 8S.
Okay.
So it's an 8,000 pound winch, but it's got the little Rubicon badging in.
And then a little earlier you told me you installed this nice little winch plate down here that had the D-rings.
Yep.
That's a really nice addition.
Yeah, there was, again, I think I got those from Rubitrucks. They're Maximus. It's a Maximus winch plate. So they come with instructions. You got to drill and cut out a small portion of the bumper and mount everything right up in there.
Okay. And now I see you also upgraded the factory candles.
Yep. Went with Quadratec there. Just again, got a decent price on them, and the front headlights were damaged. So luckily, did a little reading and found out that everybody hates the stock headlights. So I decided to go with the LEDs.
Yeah, they're definitely not good.
And then every once in a while, Craigslist, Marketplace, whatever you can find. Somebody was selling a set of, I think, factory Mopar LEDs, but I had already bought these.
Okay.
Been happy with them. They're budget price, so they do the job.
And did you do the turn signals as well, or this is actually how they come?
I'm trying to think. I did replace the turn signals. Those are factory Mopar parts. They're clear. I can't remember if the 2015s come with clear or if they're amber.
Okay.
But most of the parts that I did replace, it's basically all factory Mopar stuff. Luckily I found an online place that had some really good prices. So most of the stuff that I replaced was Mopar.
Well, they definitely look really, really good. Now, have you done any work in the engine bay itself?
The only thing that I've done after I got it all back together and was driving it for a while, the oil cooler housing went, so I replaced that. Had a couple of idler pulleys go. One of them took out the power steering pump. So again, kit car part for that, so it's a factory Mopar part.
Okay.
Other than that, nothing in the engine.
Sweet. All right, well then let's go to the back.
All right.
The back now, why don't you start giving us a walkthrough of what you got going on here.
Okay. I ended up going with the AEV tire carrier. Again, just doing a little research on different tire carriers. I know the stock hinges on the tailgate typically don't hold a 35, especially when you're off-roading. But I also wanted a tire carrier that would swing open with my tailgate.
Okay.
And not 2 separate pieces.
Oh, got you. So you don't have the second release, you just have
right.
one
I just open the tailgate and everything comes out as one.
Which that's really nice.
Yep. I did end up losing a tow hook on this side because of the way the AEV brackets and everything mount down there.
Oh yeah, you don't have D-rings on the back.
No, so the stock bumper didn't come with D-rings. I do have, the original truck didn't have a trailer hitch, so I added a trailer hitch in the wiring. And then I do have the receiver insert with a D-ring. So
okay.
I was fine on that aspect of it. Again, just the Quadratec LED taillights. And I think that's about it on the backside. Again, with it being a wreck, I had to replace the taillight lens, the license plate holder, and all of that, which is again stupid expensive. And if I had done it again, I probably would have thought again. I don't really like the looks of that, and when you're on the trails and backing up, those are always the first things to get hit.
Yep.
I probably would have gone with a center, but I mean, I think that was like $60 all in told. So
just for the bracket.
well, for the bracket, I forget how much it was, but then just the lens for the light, I think was $30. Because so they don't sell it as one piece.
Do you want
gotta
mine?
buy it separate. Yeah, right. So I'm kind of married to that one for a while.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then the AEV, I did get the high level brake light because when you
Oh, I didn't even see that in there.
when the AEV, the tire carrier doesn't come with one, and obviously when you take your stock one off, you lose the light.
lose it.
So I ended up going with that. Again, a little pricey, but I like, again, the AEV stuff just kind of well designed, fit and finish, all fits together.
No, absolutely.
Like it was stock.
Buy it once, cry once.
Right.
I like that motto. Okay, so do you have any future plans for this truck? Anything you're looking to do down the pipeline? Are you looking to go to 37s or?
37s would be well down the line. We do a lot of Jeep Jamboree events, and they do limit you a tire size of 37s. So I'm probably not going to go to 37s for a while. I did just get an Adam shaft from you guys, so I need to put that on the front. That's going to allow me to get rid of the spacers in the exhaust. And then probably the next thing that I'm planning is big brake kit once the front brakes go. So when I bought the truck, I checked all the brakes. The rear brake pads were, paper thin, so I replaced those. I did actually find a set of used rear big brake kit, so I have that, but I was going to wait until I do the fronts and put the whole big brake kit on the truck all at once.
Do you feel like you have an issue with braking now, or do you feel like you just want that extra security and stopping power?
I'm not like an aggressive driver, so although I have told people who have driven the Jeep, I said the best way to think about the brakes is they're going to slow you down, but they're not going to stop you. And I did just towed a decent load. I was probably at the 3,500 pound limit, and you could tell you had to plan for when you were going to brake, because you couldn't just say I'm going to stop now.
Now, speaking of the opposite of stopping, what are you running for gears? Are you
Gears are the stock or the 410s.
You have 410s?
And honestly, with a stock tire size, which I think were 31s, I felt like I was geared a little too low. Can't remember maybe 2,500 RPM at 60, 65, which is kind of high. But I will say, it's being a manual, never had to downshift on any of the hills, like it would hold its speed. And then going to the 35s, well, actually being off-road with the 410s and the 4-to-1 rock track, the transfer case, you can't go fast enough. I would find that I was wheeling along just on regular roads in 5th and 6th gear just to kind of keep up with people.
Wow.
And first and second gear it's ridiculous. Like you're rock crawling. You're barely even moving, but it's great when you get to the obstacles. You put it in first, and you just idle along and let it do its thing.
Let it do its thing.
Yep. So then with the 35s and the 410s, again, it's a 6-speed. I haven't had any issues. Down on actually anything up to about 1,800 RPM, the truck's kind of like, I don't think I want to do that. But once you get above 2,000 RPM, for me, it's no problem.
No problem. Cool. Good to hear. So why don't we go inside to see what you got going on there?
All right.
So we're now inside the front of the Jeep. Now, why don't you tell me some of the things you've added to the front here?
Actually, I haven't added much. Again, when I bought it, it came with the mount. It's nice. I got a spare iPhone that I put up there for videoing when I'm off-roading. And then it came with the CB, which I was kind of glad about, because I guess sometimes installing CBs in Jeeps can be iffy as far as reception and getting them to work correctly. So this one had it, and it works great.
Now, do you have your antenna mounted already, or?
The antenna it's a Fire Stick with a quick release. So typically, if I'm going to an off-road event, then I'll snap it in.
Okay,
right.
got you.
I'm trying to think. The touch screen, it did go, which luckily I was able to find a place online that sells just the LCD screen.
Oh.
So replace that, so it works now. So now I can see where I'm going, and I can see which channel I'm changing it to.
And now, is this chipped or flash? You're running any
No, the only thing I'm doing is the programmer that I have. It does allow me to actually it's a scan tool. It allows me to reprogram for gearing. It's not VIN locked, and it'll basically do whatever the flash cal and the AEV Pro Cal does. You know, I did for a while. I did have the driving lights enabled, and then just turned them off because it was kind of a pain.
Got you. Any plans for doing anything inside here? Anything you're looking to do, like a ham radio or anything like that?
Not at the moment, no. Hey, gonna keep the interior basically stock. You know, I've got a couple of power ports. I think there might be one in the back, but nah, not too much planned.
Good, gotcha. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the lift kit that you have in this vehicle?
The lift kit I went with was the Terraflex ST3. Again, just kind of the first Jeep getting into off-roading. I've been with my brother-in-law a couple of times, but kind of wanted to just get an all-inclusive kit just because I didn't know which pieces, parts to put together. You know, things that you got to worry about. You do this, but you didn't do that, and then you run into problems in the trail. So I went with an all-inclusive kit.
So pay once, cry once, and never have to worry about it again?
Basically,
okay.
Yep.
So you got upper and lower control arms, bump stops as well.
Yep.
Track bar?
Yep, adjustable track bar in the front. The bump stops, I think it has lower control arms are new, but the uppers are stock. And in the rear, I think both of them are new.
Got you, okay.
And then, track bar back brackets front and rear, and brake line relocation kits. And the exhaust spacers, which I'm not a fan of, and I'm getting rid of as soon as I can.
Okay, got you. Now, what are you running for fenders?
Fender flares, the Poison Spider, and those are the steel.
Okay, how do you like them?
I like them. The one thing, I probably look at it again and think about going to the aluminum, only because they are heavy.
They are.
Yep, but I don't know, we can look on the passenger side. I did hit a tree when I was off-roading, and I don't even think it touched it, so.
Well, that's good to hear. And how do you like your rock slider? Have you used it a lot, or?
I haven't used the rock sliders much. I like them, although I'm also kind of thinking about getting, I don't know if it's the NFAB, but something with a step, only because it is kind of a pain getting in and out of the Jeep, especially if you're parked at like your grocery. Yeah, you gotta take the running hop to get up in there, but.
Got you. And then for your wheels, what are you running on your wheels?
The wheels are AEV Pentlers. I lucked out and found them on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody was selling them. They were pretty rashed up. They had definitely used them, but I took some time, sanded them down, filled them a little bit, and just repainted them.
And for tires, what are you running?
Tires, BF Goodrich Mud Trains, the 35s. Again, found a good sale online. So some of this stuff I had accumulated just because it was on sale when I bought it, even though I hadn't planned on putting it on right away.
Gotcha. And how do you like the BF Goodrich tires?
So far I like them. My brother-in-law runs them on his Jeep, and a couple of years ago I think he was getting a new set, and he had said, he was getting 60, 70,000 miles out of them. So,
wow.
I was kind of like, all right, well, for the price, I'll give it a try.
Your back ones, you still have tons of tread left.
Yeah, the back ones are brand new. The front ones are used. They came with the AEV wheels. So, until I got the lift kit on, had you guys align it and everything, I just wanted to get those on there so I didn't cuff a brand new set. And I've had them on for 5,000 miles, and they don't even look like they've worn down from what they were. So,
so then you'll take those, put them on the front, and buy 2 new sets.
Yeah, I've got 2 new ones at home already for the rear.
Okay,
so
okay.
I'm gonna keep running those
until it's time.
I got another event in the early fall in August. I might put them on by then, or I may just keep running those.
Got you. Okay, and nothing else really to talk about on the side here.
Yeah, no, the inner fenders, again, Poison Spider.
Oh, that's right, inner fender flares.
So again, with it being a wreck and the fender flares got ripped off of it, some of the inner fender was damaged as well, so kind of did the same thing.
Okay, well, what are you running for shocks?
Shocks are the Fox 2.0 reservoirs.
Okay.
They were just what came with a kit. They're probably overkill. I've only gone one off-roading event, which was kind of what I would call more trail. It was more just mud and trees. Want to get to AOA though, because it's pretty rocky out there and kind of rough. So I just want to see how this rides.
How do you like them so far?
So far I like them.
How's the on-road performance?
On road, no problems. Been up to, on the trip down to Virginia, was up, 70, 75, which was a little scary, but yeah, on-road performance, no problem.
Good, good. Glad to hear.